Second.
The moved and properly second that we adopt the ordinance to rezone parcel 036. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
May, do you have to have, Mr. Clancy read that, page 12, motion? For the record.
Yes. Full motion.
I make a motion to approve the request as presented by the applicant. The parcel identified by Franklin County staff at D number 036. Use of will be approved for rezone from the heavy industrial 1-2 to highway business B2. Given the findings for the request are consistent with the 2030 Louisville comprehensive plan, and shown to be in public interest as the rezoning conforms with the town's economic needs, and moreover, to be found reasonable, as this will result in a more logical and orderly development pattern for business.
Have a second.
We already voted it down, so.
Item number 9. Audit presentation for fiscal year 2021-2022. For the made and placed by the senior attorney. Dave?
Thank you, Mayor, council members. It's getting longer every year. 115 pages this year. What I'm gonna do is just go through the table of contents, so we try to draw your attention to the different sections, and then get some time to go back and look at what you want to look at. If you have any questions, then feel free to give me a call. Then I got a couple items on draw your attention to, so if you would, turn to page 2. This is table of contents, the 7 sections. First being the independent audit report, and you see the unmodified or obtained opinion. Second is manager's discussion and analysis. This is a narrative of the numbers, and if you're going to look at anything, I would stress look at that section, because it tells you why certain things are the way they are. And following that is basic financial statements. It's different, 8 different statements there, dealing with your governmental funds and your proprietary funds, and what your water, sewer, and electric. And then following number 4 is required supplemental financial data. That's your information on pension plans. Individual fund statements, that's your data on your general fund, all your major funds, and water, your sewer, and your electric. And on the next page, you have other schedules, and you'll have a schedule in the back showing, you may want to look this one too, is property taxes collected, and what percentage you collected out of what was actually levied. And then also you have to, because you have USDA loan, they require that you separate the water and sewer, so we have to go through and do that in those last 3 pages of that section. And the final section is your compliance section. And this year you had what's known as a state single audit, meaning that state requires a town or any organization at the city level $500,000 state funds, or excuse me, expends more than $500,000 of state funds, have what's called a single audit, which requires us to do more compliance work, verifying compliance with the grant applications, grant stipulations. So we had to do that on Depot Hill, because I think, if I remember correctly, we barely over $500,000, but like $507,000 spent. We had to go through it. So let's turn to page 2. And look at, this is your balance sheet, governmental funds. On the left-hand side, you'll see a column for general fund. And look down at the bottom, you'll see total fund balances, $2.3 million. It's on the left-hand side. but above it says unassigned $765,000. That is the amount of money that y'all have that's not restricted for any other, no purpose. So if you were to have emergency, whatever, that money's there to be spent on whatever you need to do. That amount, though, the 765, is below what the local government commission wants you to have. They want you to have about 10% more than that at a minimum. And in most towns your size have about, I think about 35% more than what y'all do. So you need to work on that. And the way to work on that is you turn over to page 23, no, excuse me, 22. And on the left-hand side again, where it says major funds, general fund. So you had total revenues of 3.8 million, but you had total expenditures of 4.5 million. So you had a deficit of 741,000. Now you had some money transferred in from the electric fund, almost $500,000, and sales of capital assets and grant proceeds, another 691,000. So it left you with a net deficit of $50,000. But that figure needs to be a positive. You're ever gonna get that fund balance up. So either you got to raise revenues or cut expenses, do a combination of both. But that's been an issue for years and years here. And you are steadily moving up some compared to how it was, but it still needs to continue. Still need to continue to work on that. Let's go to page 106 now. And this is the client section I was talking about. There was 4 findings. The first 2 findings both related to the audit being late. And the reason the audit was late is during the turnover period in the finance office, each year the town has to order an actuarial study so the actuary can estimate what your liability is going to be to pay for future retired employees' health insurance. We have an idea how much. That didn't get ordered until February, I believe, 2023. Came in June of 2023. So this just made everything late because you can't compare the financial statements without that information. So I think once you get a finance officer, a permanent finance officer in there, that issue will probably be taken care of. Now, the third item, quarterly reports, it's the same situation. The state requires quarterly reports to be sent in, and those were not sent in on a timely basis. And then the final issue was that the files that contained the bidders for the work done at Depot here, it couldn't be located. But what I was supposed to do is look in that file and see, look at who bid, what the highest bid, lowest bid, and all that type of stuff. Sean speculates that, because when he talked to Jonathan Franklin, the file was in his office on the left. He speculates that file is somebody came in and cleaned up after he did. I guess it probably got thrown away. So what I recommend, all these type files like that, not to be maintained in some person's office and file cabinet. It needs to be maintained probably in the safe there in the business office. Those same things. So the main 2 things, you just need to work on your fund balance, increase it, and just do a little better job of complying with the grant. I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Can I ask you one about, let's see, on page, it was the page where you told us toward the back about the uncollected funds.
Are you talking about contracts?
Yeah, what's that?
Page 95.
95. I guess let's see. It was a breakdown of the uncollected tax levy.
All right, at year end, you had $13,000, which means
What page are you on?
95. You look at the total levy column,
Yeah.
all to the bottom that negative in parentheses, that was amount that was not collected. So So you collected almost right at 99%, which is good.
Well, what happened on page 94? That's what I was on, that schedule of ad valorem taxes
Right.
receivable.
That,
It's got down there like uncollected balance for 2021 was 17,947. Why was it so high that? I mean,
well, that is, and I don't know. And you see that if you go to the right of it, collection, this in 2022 year, 9,000, over half of it was collected. So I don't know, it probably had something to do with COVID.
that's what I was thinking.
Right.
It might have to do.
Right.
Because we told people
Right.
to pay a lot
Right.
if they
And
could.
people just couldn't pay.
Okay, that seems logical.
Right.
Fine.
Well,
You have questions?
Mr. Place, so regarding Depot Hill, the only issue that you found regarding that was the fact that the documents that supported the bidding and the contracts and stuff like that was not able to be
that's correct.
confirmed.
Right. I looked at all the invoices were there to support the check. So the only thing I couldn't find was that file. Like I said, Sean contacted Jonathan, and Jonathan said the file was left in his, I guess it was in the file cabinet there in his office. But did you, the former HR person, that went in and cleaned up after he left, I don't know that he got off.
And we also had no clerk at the time. To,
Right, right.
And temporary
and,
top administrator.
right, and so it was just,
The main thing is to put all that stuff in the second finance office. Like I said, if you got a question later on, you think of it, feel free. Letterhead's on one of those first pages in the report, you get a telephone number off it.
So this is the audit that technically we should have had November
Yes,
of
that's right.
22.
That's right.
So,
We don't go for the next audit.
I'm gonna have to let that, I'm gonna have you have find somebody else. Just from the standpoint, this one put me so far behind. It's interfering with my other audit this year. I had to all work on, I had to work on this. So, I told Sean probably need to see if he can find somebody.
Mr. Flood.
Yeah.
Will you, I know the state sort of saddled us with that we had to have things done or things would be held back against us, monies or something, wasn't it, Sean? And, could you possibly help assist us in the names of of the type of, I guess it'll have to be some large, big city firm that will, and not,
I'll be glad to help.
okay. 'Cause,
Yeah. What you have to do, he just have to put it out for bid. And, local government division provides all the information. And, instead of go through, and I'll be glad to help. And it was nothing against anybody here or anything else, it's just, the size we are, it's put me so far behind, it's affecting all my other work.
Well, you've done a good job.
Well, thank you for years of allowing me to do it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All your service.
Okay. Okay, item number 10, approval of the NCEMPA, a full requirement power sales.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, Town Council. In front of you is a request to approve the full requirement purchase power agreement. The changes have already been approved by the NCEMPA Board of Commissioners and the Electricity's Board of Directors. The changes are just administrative in nature and are to conform to the 10th Amendment to the full requirements power purchase agreement. Overall, the new agreement just addresses some deficiencies that are esoteric to power components that deal with conveyance of power. It's just administrative in nature. It will not change any of the rates. It doesn't change wholesale, retail rates, which just administrative. So I'm asking for a motion to approve the modification of the budget.
Right, any questions for Sean? If not, could I get a motion to approve?
I move we approve.
Second.
Been moved and properly seconded to approve the NTEMPA full requirements for the Coliseum. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Item number 11, the administrative.
Mayor, thank you, town council. We'll let you know, I will forward the financials for both the town of Lewisburg and the Lewisburg ABC store. Once they're completed, we're actively looking for a finance officer. We haven't had any luck with that, so we'll continue to look for that. Architectural contract negotiations with Oakland Collier regarding depot have concluded. As of today, they have received signed contracts, so I want to let you know that we got that today. And they're going to provide us a planning and design, construction plan and design review, bidding and contract execution timeline for that. So as soon as they provide that, I'll report that to you. Road repair and paving should begin within the next 30 days of count, specifically on Tanglewood Drive. The town of Lewisburg received second place in the Lake Weekly 2023 Best of the Best Awards for community events. Town Hall will be closed Thursday and Friday of this week in observance of the Thanksgiving holiday. The town will host a fun-filled day on Sunday, December the 3rd. The Christmas market will be open from 12 noon to 4 p.m. The Christmas parade will begin at 4 and will be followed by the Christmas tree lighting at the Lewisburg Amphitheater at 6 p.m. The town of Lewisburg will also present the Polar Express movie on Friday night, December the 15th at 7 p.m. at the Amphitheater Park. Hot chocolate and cookies will be provided by the Blue College. Bring your lawn chairs, blankets, as we know the weather changes, so it could be warm, it could be cold, but just come prepared. We're looking for funding for that. And one thing I would like to mention, I know that it's leaf season and leaves are falling quickly and they're being blown into the streets. So just be mindful that as leaves are blown, they're blown to the edge of the street or along the edge of the curb, because when they get in the street, they clog our trains, and we know that tomorrow the storm's not going to out today. I saw a lot of that in the streets. So, that's it.
Okay. Thank you. And number 12, the mayor's report. Two things that I've done since the last meeting that we had here. I met with a gentleman named Michael Mitchell. Mr. Mitchell and his father is on a tour visiting all of the mayors of North Carolina. They are halfway through that tour. He came and visited us on the first Saturday of this month, and we just shared some ideas about town of Lewisburg and what we are doing, and just share general information of the town of Lewisburg. Thought we, were interesting little small town, and he was comparing us with other towns as well. So that's a project that he's working on. They were featured several weeks ago with WRAL. So that's a positive thing. So we were the 250th mayor on his journey, and he explained to me there are approximately over 550 mayors in the town of in North Carolina. They're planning to visit all of them. Also have a tour of about 50 Girl Scouts who came to town hall, and we gave them a tour of town hall and answered some of the questions that they had. And believe me, they had dozens and dozens of questions about how the town council functions, mayor's office, and what we do in Lewisburg, or how we run the town of Lewisburg. And surprised they had interest, all the things we've done for the town. We, collect water bills on the parades. So a multitude of questions coming from a large gamut of these young people. It's very exciting. They enjoyed being out around the gazebo as well. And the chamber, sitting all of you guys' seat. And reminisce about, I'm gonna do this when I grow up. So it was very interesting. Also, visited a company called TOL. This is a Chinese-based firm that is coming to Franklin County, and they are located on Highway 39, which is down toward Bund there, and right beside the Jeffrey's store there. And we took a tour of their business, and they are setting up automated machines throughout this facility there that is designed to work with hemp and produce different byproducts here for food and other uses. Well, the interesting thing that I got from this is that when they are fully operational, they will be hiring 30 people. So I thought that was a good thing for Franklin County and Worcester. And these are not very skilled jobs. They're more like a blue collar type job in a manufacturing environment. So I think that will be a good thing for Franklin County as well as the. It's called Q Power. Had the opportunity to meet the CEO there. They had a Chinese-based staff. I met with the citizens from, as you know, through the note here. We had a meeting with the citizens from Ford Circle, Lloyd Drive, Wallell Street. Came to us and voiced their concerns about various things going on in their neighborhood. Mostly it was about crime, on ways that we can partner with them and work with them on to reduce crime, not only in their neighborhood, but throughout Lewisburg. And they commended our police department for doing a great job in helping them solve some of those problems, and was very pleased with that. And one thing that they suggested to us is that we keep an open dialogue. Police chief gave out material and number which they could call whenever there is issues going on in their neighborhood. And they have they said that since they reported that to the police department, to the town there, it's going to dip in those illegal activities there. I was very pleased to hear that. So that's going to be an ongoing relationship with them as far as establishing a dialogue with citizens in that community. Also attended a ribbon cutting ceremony for Old up in Royal there. There were state officials there along with other council members that attended that as well. There were state officials, Representative Matthew Winslow and Lisa Barnes was there on this ribbon cutting. And as you know, this was the official opening of the 401 highway coming out of Raleigh and Wake County up to Royal there. So we were very excited about that, and we look forward to the final portion of that. Hopefully we can get that done by 2030.
Well, start 2031.
Oh, okay. Hopefully we can see that completion in our lifetime. And finally, met with that's when I had said that we would form an ad hoc committee to advise the council on issues as it relates to workforce housing here in the community there, and other issues. And we had our first meeting, which was mainly just a get acquainted meeting, citizens there, and talked about what the mission would be going forward. And the question rose that citizens thought it was a good idea to have some type of committee that could inform or advise the mayor and council on various issues, around town. And you could, the whole gambit of it. And they thought it was a good idea to, for councilman there to at least have someone where we could really, hear and listen to their comments. That was a good idea. Had that. There will be other meetings, of this group as well. So, that's basically it for the, yeah. Next is item 13 is the police and fire report, and, the expedite now, you have that report in your packet there, and, just for review there, you have, at your leisure. And of course, any questions that you may have, to the police chief, we'll be glad. Same for the fire report as well. That's in the packet. Now, item 15 on the agenda, council comment. At this time, of course, the council have an opportunity to share their comments with Councilman Dickerson. And you like?
Mayor, thank you. Like yourself, I also attended the meeting that we have with the citizens, for certain Lloyd Drive, White Hill Street. I thought it was very beneficial. It was good to see how those, citizens, were working together, trying to, make sure that their community was safe. Let me encourage all of them, in the future to do that for your respective communities. Get together and have meetings. I highly encourage that. Also attended the extension of 401. I too can't wait, if I can see the day they get to Lewisburg. And lastly, I'd like to thank, the bank for allowing me to serve these last 2 years. I learned a lot about how municipal government works, and I thoroughly enjoyed talking to not only the citizens but our employees or back. I appreciate what you all do, and thank you again for allowing me to do that.
Well, thank you. Dr. Stewart.
I just want to thank, since this is our last full meeting, I wanted to thank everyone for the privilege of serving for 30 years at town council. I came across a book, I got a copy of it in, Franklin County Library, and it's by a, well-respected, foreign relations, expert, Richard Haas, Haas. And it was called the Bill of Obligation, the 10 Habits of Good Citizens. And it really impressed me. And very quickly, these are the 10 things that he goes in and highlights. It's a small book, not big at all. First, be informed. 2, get involved. 3, stay open to compromise. 4, remain civil. 5, reject violence. 6, value norms. 7, promote the common good. 8, respect government service. 9, and I think this is very important and needed now, support the teaching of civics. I think it's great that the Girl Scouts came to town hall and were able to sit there. And I think we need to, all of us, review our knowledge of civics. And finally, he says, put country first, chapter on that. But he said, we get the government and the country we deserve. Getting the one we need, however, is up to us. And I think that was a true statement. And it sort of summarizes what I have tried to live by, and I encourage other people to, as you go forward from now. I attended to some notable events, on November the 9th, the Franklin County Economic Development Meeting. After 28 years of being in Youngsville, they have relocated the main office to our county seat in Lewisburg at 105 South Big Boulevard. For those of us who've lived here a long time, that's the old, Board of Education building right up here on the hill. They repainted it and in the process of getting it all set up, and I went by there today. It's very, very nice. We have a new director, Barbara Fedor, Fiedor, and Lord Duke remains as the administrative support person. And then later on, I toured the Hugh Power hemp seed plant with the mayor. Finally that evening, November the 9th, day, the Ford Circle neighborhood meeting, and that was one of the best community meetings I've ever attended. Most of the stakeholders were there or sent someone in their stead. They aired their concerns with much information shared and ideas expressed for continued work and how this can be effective throughout the neighborhoods of Lewisburg. And finally, the ribbon cutting on Section C of 401, US 401 North on November the 14th. This represents the third leg of the transportation infrastructure that Lewisburg sought for 60 plus years. The final leg to Lewisburg will begin with the right-of-way and utilities in 2028, and construction will begin in 2031 or before. We need to keep pushing for that. Simultaneously upgrades to the existing Bickett Boulevard from the up to the East Nash Street intersection will be on the same timetable as that. So keep being involved, keep urging your representatives and everyone to do this, and don't hesitate to ask questions. Again, thank you so much for coming and the interest in the report through the years. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilwoman Side.
I hope you all have a nice and a very blessed Thanksgiving. December will be a very busy month in the town of Lewisburg. You still have about a week to purchase a wreath from Wreaths Across America that we will be laying in Oakwood Cemetery on the morning of December the 16th. If you have any questions, you can contact me or go to the Wreaths Across America website to purchase a wreath for a veteran or to honor a veteran in your family that perhaps is not buried at our cemetery. I hope you have a good and blessed holiday.
Councilwoman
Okay, yeah, I want to ask them. So you're taking the orders from, just this one here, or go online, or those here in North Carolina?
If you go to the Wreaths Across America Foundation, they have cemeteries all over the United States that you can lay a wreath at, as long as they're a sponsored cemetery. Not every cemetery has that event. So,
Okay, well, for the month of November, I've been in and out doing other things, not town things, but I just ride around Lewisburg and looking at the progress. I'm so excited about that. And, I just enjoy riding, looking for it done, and, what we have to look forward to. And everybody, I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. And like I said, I have to take it off to them. And I'm happy to have a young people that come and sit on my porch and talk down. And I enjoy it so much.
Councilman Clancy.
I'd just like to thank Councilmember Stewart for her years of service on the council. I'd like to thank Councilmember Dickerson for his service, Councilmember Russell for his. I want to welcome the new candidates that are coming in. serve fellow council. And I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
And one other thing, like to add, see that we have our Christmas decorations up. There are new, items that have gone up, new lights, particularly on the mobile, drive across town there, and, I want to thank the, John and the crew that worked very hard to make that happen. On the north side of town, up at our proposed park there, we have some decoration up there as well. So, cruise, Main Street, South Main Street, and, enjoy our decoration. Also, the Christmas parade, coming, and, the route has been extended, right, to go across, the River Bridge as well. So, I think, the citizens will enjoy that as well. So, look forward to getting into the Christmas spirit and, just enjoying the holidays and, stay safe. All right.
Mayor, I make a motion that we go into closed session. Well, I gotta read, for, section 143-318-11, item A, section 5 for real estate.
It's been moved from the second and going to closed session, for real estate, per, section 143-318, that's the letter. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The citizens, I want to thank you for coming out, you feel free to, stay around to come out of the well. Enjoy your Thanksgiving holiday, and we'll see, forward to seeing you again next month.
Oh, Jeremy, okay.